like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity, powerful video library. And whoa, like, have you guys all experienced what I'm experienced? I'm sure you have. Like, here's the first one on happiness. Like, if you want to be happy, watch that video. And then the crazy dancing man video. Always come early, always stay late. It's hard to recreate it, but we're going to try to recreate it in just a minute. And then we go down here to, the founder, and then we go down to procrastination. Like, this should have changed everything for you guys. And then we go to this one here, and then this one here. Like, this is bringing back memories. These videos, each of these short videos will change your life forever. If you want your life changed forever, which honestly, most of them don't. Oh, the hot crazy matrix. This is about women. Oh, and a lot about women. There's a lot about women in this video and a little bit about men. So that one kind of, that one's really cool. Oh, I've got a new model. I don't know if I'll share it with you today. When people say I'm sorry, I've been frustrated for decades about that. And then 3 Feet from Gold, and energy vampires, and then mental health, and then time, and then awakening, and then the touch of the master's hand, and then personalities. And then here's the good to great. It's a book by Jim Collins, and I read this many years ago. And I'm telling you, this book is absolutely amazing. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I understand why. It's a minute long, and your life's really busy. You got a lot going on. Oh, somebody should go ahead and text Luke. Somebody should text Luke and say, Luke, there's a young lady on, she's not interested in dating. And so get on. Like, he should be on. He should be on. I'm just telling you. But anyways, okay. So who of you watched the Good to Great video, and what'd you think of it? Made that big of an impact on you? I can understand. Speechless. Really? Nothing? You guys got nothing for me? So that is a classic business book. If you're a business owner, you should read that book. If you want to be a business owner, you should read that book. If you're an employee working for a business, you should read that book to understand the owner of your company. And so this guy, Jim Collins, he's a university professor, did research on the great organizations. So on the great organizations, he went ahead, and the ones that lasted, he had a whole criterion for it. And so he said, great organizations consist of, companies or otherwise, great organizations consist of disciplined people, disciplined thinkers, disciplined in taking action. Disciplined people. Why are you smiling?
Oh, because my cat jumped on my lap.
Oh, hi, cat.
Gosh.
You're a cat person. Okay.
Yeah, he likes
I'm
sitting on my
allergic.
lap.
I'm allergic to cats. And so
This is
anyway, look at that. Oh my goodness. Yep. So disciplined people, disciplined thinkers, and discipline in taking action. There's so many things about that. Get the right people on the bus. The flywheel principle. Oh. And you guys can jump in at any time. Mark's books. So many years ago, I went ahead and realized that the way I think is very much influenced based on the books I've read. And so I thought, how am I going to help my kids learn to think the way I think? And so I went ahead and thought, get them to read the books that I'm reading. But getting your kids to read the books you read, not an easy topic. So this is a great quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes. I would not give a fig for simplicity this side of complexity, but I would give my life for simplicity the other side of complexity. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay. Simplicity, here's another one. Simplicity is hard to build, easy to use, hard to charge for. Complexity is easy to build, hard to use, and easy to charge for. Like, really? Like, think about those. Yeah, this one here is a pretty interesting podcast. So good to great. Where is good to great? Here it is. So this is one of my favorite quotes of all times. Is when I look over the good to great transformations, the word that keeps coming to mind is consistency. Interesting, right? Consistency and commitment. Interesting. Another word offered to me by physics professor R.J. Peterson is coherence. What is 1 + 1? He asked, and then pause for effect. 4. In physics, we have been talking about the idea of coherence, the magnifying effect of one factor upon another. In reading about the flywheel, I couldn't help but think about the principle of coherence. How you phrase it, the basic idea is the same. Each piece of the system reinforces the other parts of the system to form an integrated whole that is much more powerful than the sum of the parts. It is only through consistency over time, through multiple generations, that you get maximum result. So you think about what's the biggest enemy to a great marriage? It's a good marriage. What's the biggest enemy to a great job? A good job. What's the biggest enemy to a great friendship? A good friendship. What's the biggest enemy to, a great income? Good income. What's the biggest enemy to a great life? A good life. Questions?
I just never thought of it that way, but that's true.
Right? Right? There's a whole bunch. These are movies and videos that have changed my life forever. These books, and then Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Oh my goodness. Here's another great one. You are the placebo. Unbelievable book. You are the placebo. Usually when people step into the river of change, the void between the old self and the new self is so uncomfortable that they immediately slip back into their old selves again. They unconsciously think, this doesn't feel right. I'm uncomfortable, or I don't feel so good. A lot of feeling there. The moment that they accept this thought or auto-suggestion and become suggestible to their own thoughts, they will unconsciously make the same old choices again that will lead to the progression of the same habitual behaviors to create the same experience that automatically endorse the same emotions and feeling. And then they say to themselves, this feels right. But what they really mean is this feels comfortable. Questions?
I don't know.
Can you say that again?
I can. The whole thing or just the last part?
The last part.
The same habitual behaviors create the same experience that automatically endorse the same emotions and feelings. And they say to themselves, this feels right. But that what they really mean is this feels familiar. I can't tell you how many people I say, what's your biggest challenge? And they tell me what it is. And I say, do you want to fix it? They say, well, yes, of course I do, but they really don't, because feelings are very important to them. I was given a wonderful gift, and I didn't realize feelings were important to me until I was 59 years old.
How did you not know that?
My parents weren't real big into feelings,
Okay.
I guess.
What's up?
And I'm a man, I'm a husband, I'm a father. All right, so we're going to go back and recreate the pre. Don't think. You got to show up. You got to show up early and stay late. So, Andrea, you ready? And Marla, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Andrea, which of these 4 levels of friendship do you want to have with me?
The level 4.
Okay. So, this is another thing. Like, I adore Andrea. Like, it's like I'm speechless with her. Like I'm telling you, she is gonna make some guy like the luckiest guy in the world. Like I'm dead serious. I'm totally serious here. She's very, very different than other women. And so let's go back and let's do the pre-show. Remember what you said during the pre-show before we started the podcast?
I don't like to be embarrassed.
No, not that. No,
Oh,
I said, which of these four would you like to be, which of these four friendships would you like to have with me? And then you just studied them, you read them. So go ahead and study and read them.
oh, okay.
And then you said,
Level 4.
no. Then you said, I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Right. Like, and then I said, what did I say? Something about, oh, she likes to study, like I'm teasing her. Like
I
I'm
gotta make
like,
sure I'm
what's that?
I gotta make sure I'm picking the right one.
Right. She has to pick the right one. I already know which one she wants. Does anybody know why I already know which one she wants? Because they call me the woman whisperer.
Has anybody ever said that to you, or you just think
People
that?
say it all the time.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
now you're like my wife and my daughters. And they don't really tell. No, they do. They actually do say it. One of these days, you're going to say it. Maybe today. Maybe maybe before the end of the podcast, you're going to say, Mark, you're like a woman whisperer. Like it's crazy. Okay. So then I said, then we were talking and playing. And then I said, Andrea, is it okay that you're embarrassed? Or something like that. And then you said, I don't like being embarrassed. And I said, can anybody translate that for me? And so go ahead, Marla, pick it up where you left off. So, Marla, go ahead.
Where I left off or what I said exactly?
What you said exactly. Yeah, no, this needs to be recreated. This is like classic here.
Okay, I think I asked if I may say what I think Mark is thinking.
Right. So like Marla, she's different too. Very, very different. The guy that gets her is going to be like, she thinks in a very different way, like her mind and how her mind operates. It's just really, so she flipped it on me. I'm like, I understand women. She said, I understand you, Mark. Like, I understand what you're like. That's not what we were talking about as me. We were talking about women. So go ahead, Marla. You think I was thinking what?
I think that you were thinking that Andrea likes to be embarrassed because all women want attention. Therefore, if they get embarrassed, they get attention.
Interesting. How does Marla know this?
How does Marla know this about you?
Okay.
No, I'm asking, is that what you're asking?
Not really, but it can be.
Okay.
I mean, I
I
could be
didn't say
asking,
it's true.
what's that?
I just said that's what you're thinking.
No, I know exactly what you said. See, I listen to what people say, and then I also listen to what they're not saying. And so, how does Marla know this?
She's a woman? I don't know.
Right? See, this is why I like Andrea. Like, she plays with me. Marla, they play with me. They play with me mentally. I always have to keep my guard up with them because they're sharp. They're sharp women. They're not, yeah, they're very unusual. So yes, she's a woman. What does that mean, Mark? What do you think it means?
What does it mean, Mark?
Women, you can just address me as woman. What does it mean, woman whisperer?
I was gonna say, like, cause you know this because you're a woman whisperer.
Right. Thank you. See, people say that all the time. Luke Boersma, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. What are you thinking right now, Luke? How come you're not on video?
Um,
Are you just like Cheryl?
I'm shy, I guess.
Okay. That's different than Cheryl. Cheryl didn't say she was shy. Interesting. Can you get on video or there it is. Okay,
Yeah, I can.
good. Excellent. All right, good to see you. So what are you thinking right now?
At this very moment, I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have stayed up until 4 with my dad last night.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're on.
Thank you.
You must really enjoy this podcast.
It has something special, that's for sure.
Any ideas what it is?
I mean, you've told me before some sort of conversation that's within it is addicting. People just can't help but come back.
Right. Right.
Seems to be the case for me.
Right. Anybody else have any thoughts? Marla, what are you thinking right now?
I'm wondering if I was correct. Like, is that what you were thinking?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally. 100%. Totally. But it's got to be the right type of embarrassment. This is why you listen to the woman whisperer, because the woman whisperer understands all women like attention. They just do. Like, Marla's dating Kenny, funniest thing, like funniest thing in the world. So, he's a good looking guy. And he, we were over at Jason and Melissa's, my son-in-law and daughter, and they have 3 kids now. They had 2 at the time, I think, because she hadn't delivered yet. They're little boys. So they have 2 girls, and Elena, she's 2, almost 3 years old. And when Kenny came in the door, she started running around the table and being really silly. Luke, why are you getting off the video? Okay, thanks. All right. So, she started running around the table. And so Melissa and Jason, I think, was there. Kenny and Marla were there. And she started running around the table and being really goofy. And I said, does everybody know why she's doing that? And Melissa, being the loving daughter she is, she's like, probably because she wants attention from grandpa. See, Melissa thinks that I'm like, other men, and that it's all about me, and that I think I'm the center of the universe. And I laughed and I said, no, she's flirting with Kenny. And then all of the women started laughing. Like, they all started laughing. And they're like, that is so true. Like, grandpa's there and she's not goofing around, playing around. But as soon as Kenny comes in, she's 3 years old and she's flirting with Kenny. She's trying to get attention. It's like built into a woman. And little boys do that too. Like my grandsons, if Andrea or Marla or any young woman comes in, and my grandsons all of a sudden start getting goofy because they want attention. They want attention from the girls, the older girls, the younger women, and girls are the same way. And so, yes, it's absolutely what I was thinking. Other questions, Marla?
No, I don't think so. Actually, yeah. What do you think that I think that's how it is?
What do you think I'm thinking of what you're thinking? Well, let me ask you this
I
question.
think that,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think that you think that subconsciously, I think that all girls like to be embarrassed because they want attention.
Interesting. So, do you think that what you said is true about women by and large? Is they all want to be the center of attention?
I think it depends on their personality.
Actually, you're partially right. They all want it, but their personality all wants it in different ways. What do you mean, Mark?
What do you mean?
Right? Oh, that's a great question. So it's taken me decades to figure this out, and a wife of 40 years, and then 4 daughters, and now 6 granddaughters. Like, this thing it's crazy how much work I've done to become a woman whisperer. It's like, my gracious. So we go into here, go into the podcast, go into the mind models here. So if a woman's an expressive, if she's fine with being embarrassed, quite a lot higher level, because she gets energy, so she's the center of attention. This is somebody like Melissa, my daughter. So she wants to be, she's okay with being embarrassed at a much higher level than Andrea would be. So Andrea is going to be more of probably the expressive, analytic, expressive. I'm sorry, analytic, amiable, analytic. So with Andrea, it's got to be more subtle. It's got to be. So I don't know why she trusts me as much as she does, and I don't know if she knows how much she trusts me. And
Sorry.
just for context, I mean, we've only known each other for a few months, right? And we've never met in person.
Yes.
And like the first conversation we had, there was this crazy connection. Now, again, I'm speaking for myself, not for her, but she was very unusual where I said, hey, I'd love to do a podcast with you. And I was sincere. I said it to a number of other people too, and I was equally sincere for them, but she's the only one that followed through. So I knew she was special. I'm like, here's a special woman. Like, this girl, wow, she's going to go places, and I want to help her. And so the expressive, they like all attention, like all kinds of attention. And so, like Elena, she's expressive, probably more driver than expressive. And so she's going to be that. Micaiah is more subtle. And so she's going to want attention, but she's going to get it in a different way. The amiable, they are shy, and they don't want, like the expressive in a way doesn't mind if everybody knows. The expressive woman doesn't mind knowing everybody. Like, I played football yesterday, and there was an expressive woman, and man, was she expressive. And she got a lot of attention, like a lot. So the amiable wants a ton of attention, but they're jealous of the expressive woman, because the expressive woman seems to be so confident and seems to be like she's out there and she gets all this attention. So the amiable is jealous of the expressive woman. What's weird is the expressive woman is jealous of the amiable woman, because the amiable woman gets a lot of attention too, and it's very different than the expressive attention. And the expressive attention wants to go ahead and get all of the attention. I'm not saying the amiable wants all the attention or women want all the attention. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they're envious of one another's energy. analytic woman, she wants attention too, but she's going to go ahead and disguise it more than anyone because she wants to control everything. And so if she gets attention, she may not be able to control, like she wants everything on her own terms. And so she definitely wants attention. And the driver woman, she's different. She's got this quiet confidence that the other three women want. And so the expressive wants these other three women, they want attention from other women. They want to be liked. The driver woman kind of doesn't like the gossip and small talk. And so she doesn't really like, she kind of rolls her eyes at the other three. And she's like, you know, like they're kind of goofballs. And so she'll get the most attention of men because she'll think, she knows how to think like a man. She knows how to think like a man more than the other three do. And so men are going to give her a lot of attention. She's going to tend to understand men more. And she's going to, go ahead. Or not. She's going to tend to be able to read men more. She's going to be willing to challenge men more. I'm not saying that she'll be more brave than the men and say, Mark, is that what you were thinking? Are you thinking what this and this? But the driver woman, she will go ahead and confront. And so often she's ostracized from the other women. And in a way, a small way, it bothers her, but it doesn't bother her as much as the others. But she does feel very much alone. She feels like she's in her own world, like she's not like the other women that she knows. So she feels alone, and part of her doesn't like that, but a part of her's like totally cool with that. Does that make sense, Marla, or not so much?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have other questions?
Not really questions. I guess I just wanted to ask or add to that. I think it would also depend on like the situation and who all is involved.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Because again, don't disagree. Because, you know, if I were to disagree with you, then I would be arrogant and thinking I know what you're thinking. And you're a woman. You don't even know what you're thinking. I mean, was that a sexist comment or one of reverence for women? So women, is somebody laughing? Was that you laughing, Cheryl?
Yes, it was me laughing, Mark.
So I love Cheryl. She, like a lot of women, when you say something, so women over-identify with their own gender. So if you say something about women, most women will get angry and upset about that, and they'll take offense. But Cheryl and Marla and Andrea don't, for whatever reason. So they don't. They laugh. They're like, huh? Or they're like curious, and they're like, well, why is Mark saying that about women? And when he says that women don't know what they're thinking, they don't jump to the conclusion that he's bashing women. They don't jump to the conclusion that he thinks less of them, that he thinks he's better than them. They don't jump to the conclusion. They're like, huh, that's interesting. Why is he saying that? Cheryl, she just giggles, which I love. Anyone else want to jump in and play with Cheryl and Andrea and Marla and myself, or you guys want to just sit on the sidelines? Or
Okay, but why? I don't know.
Go ahead.
Nothing, nothing.
So see, Cheryl, she's teasing me. Women do this. They tease men. So they'll put something out there and then they'll retract it. And so this is what gets people addicted to come back next week, on the next podcast. So this has all about going from good to great. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. I want to be a great grandfather. I want to be, and to do that, I have to work a lot harder than I have ever worked in my life. I have to care a lot more than I've ever cared. I have to make sacrifices more than I've ever sacrificed. I have to take risks more than I've ever taken risks. The podcast for Vision, that comes right after this. If you're able to stick around, you'll definitely want to do that. If you have any questions on anything we covered today, definitely join the Life GPS group, mobile app group for this, because then you'll be introduced to somebody that can be a mentor or buddy to you. In the group, you'll get a lot more. If you have any questions, connect with the individual who invited you to participate, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300, outside the US 630-393-9909. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.